players. And I get that. I mean, Ragnow and Decker's contracts are pretty big, but...
But they're manageable.
Yes.
And that's what you're hoping is that, you can go out and add a few pieces by spending some money. But hopefully, what you're doing is when Penei Sewell comes up, you are renegotiating with your own players and spending the money there. That's what your hope is, that it's through the draft, right? Whatever they do with the number 2 pick, all right? Say it's Kyle Hamilton or it's Aiden Hutchinson, that they continue to develop those players. It's Aleem McNeil. That's the type of guys that you want to be able to say, okay, we're going to re-sign our own guys because we drafted them. They're great players, and we're going to keep them. And we're going to add some pieces, but we're not going to make our team based on free agents.
But you can't be blinded though by, okay, they're good guys, they're good players, they like it here.
I don't think that's
familiarity. You can't just do that.
No, and I don't think that's what anybody is saying.
No,
that's not what I'm saying.
My thing with all this is that, look, I'm willing to give some patience to not only her, because she is still relatively new as the owner, but especially the regime. I mean, always go back to the 6-year contract with Campbell. We should have saw this coming. Yes. They're not forcing anything. I mean, I'm trying to think of another team. Who else is trying to do what they're doing right now? Like, I don't think any other team in the NFL is trying to methodically build like that. I brought up the Jets, I think, yesterday. But even then, they went out and gave C.J. Uzoma a 3-year contract. You know, the Lions aren't doing that. They're not tying themselves down. You know, we mentioned this a couple weeks ago. The Colts did it this way.
Yeah.
And they continued to fail to find quarterbacks. Correct. If they don't get it right, the quarterback right, it's not going to make a difference.
They're struggling to find a quarterback because they also got surprised that Andrew Luck retired.
Yeah, but that's been 4 or 5 years already. I mean, enough.
I mean, you can argue that going to get Rivers for that 1 year was the right move. I mean, they went to Buffalo and played a nice playoff game that year. Wentz was a huge mistake. It was a desperation. I think they might have righted that pretty well here with Matt Ryan, but the AFC's so difficult. But I actually think there's a team in football right now who did it this way, and people would love to beat. You know who it is?
Tennessee. I mean, they went out and got Julio, but they kind of crazy.
Right, I don't think they quite did it this methodically.
No. Who?
Buffalo.
Yeah, I mean, they got Diggs. Well, they traded for Diggs.
Well, wait, no, but if you go back to, they methodically built their team before Josh Allen.
Correct.
They made the playoffs. Remember?
Yeah.
That Jacksonville disgusting game a few years ago? I can't even remember who their quarterback was. Was it
Tyrod Taylor, I believe.
Yeah. They had the team in place, and then they got the quarterback. That's what they're trying to do. But there are examples of it not working. I think Carolina has done this to a degree, but they kind of force things with Darnold. But they didn't get tied down very long.
All right. Our telephone number, 248-539-9797. Your reaction to what you heard from Sheila. Do you even like when the owners speak? Some people don't.
Don't want to hear from them.
They'd rather not even hear from them. I like the fact that she, at least apparently, does not do that. That's coming up next, 97.1 Ticket. Hey, if you want to get away, have a great time, go where Mike and Rico went. And we've been there before. That's to have a great time. It's in Las Vegas. It's so much fun. Hey, the draft is in Vegas. See if you can go out there for that. Go to the D.com, book your room today. Best bang for the buck. They got great food at the D. Joe Curry's Andiamo Italian Steakhouse is right there. You know what else they got at the D? They got American Coney Island right there. They got the new sports book. Bar Canada. That's where Mike and Rico, we did our show from there. It's so much fun. Downtown is a blast. And the odds downtown, much better than they are at the Strip. So if you really want to have a good time, not spend a lot of money on your accommodation, it's the D Las Vegas. Excuse me, God. Wow. D Las Vegas. It's in Las Vegas.
97.1 The Ticket. Traffic.
From the WWJ
WTOJ AM 950 Traffic Center. This report brought to you by Allstate agent Cheryl Bowker. Although there's scattered light rain on the drive this morning, things are pretty quiet on the roads. We just have a couple of issues. One of them on M10 southbound at Wasser, where an accident is affecting the right shoulder at the exit. Another accident on the right shoulder southbound 75 after 8 Mile. Saving money feels pretty good, and your local Allstate agent Cheryl Bowker can help you do just that. Contact her agency in Livonia for a free quote today. Allstate, better protection, costs a whole lot less. I'm Michelle Pena with traffic.
Get the latest sports news and inside information about Michigan and Michigan State on the 5 Star Zone with Rico Beard. Download it today on the Odyssey app.
Sides with an Odyssey Sports Minute. Due to the truncated spring training, baseball will expand its rosters from 26 to 28 through May 1st, with no limit on the number of pitchers. Regrettably, the god-awful extra inning ghost runner on second continues. Fortunately, they've tweaked the designated hitting rule so pitchers who also DH can remain in the lineup. Can't get enough of Shohei Ohtani in my mind. I'm over on size.
Okay, so we got the chorizo dumplings, the cucumber empanadas.
Sarah's food truck is popping off.
Come on, guys, let's pick it up, all
But
right?
if she doesn't find a new chef, her truck will be stuck.
Called for this morning, so Jessica, I'm gonna need you on the fryer.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
At Wendy's, lunch is madness. With our breakfast baconator. Sausage, egg, and Swiss croissant, both made with fresh cracked eggs, or even a honey butter chicken biscuit. And we're just getting warmed up. Get 50% off the official breakfast of March Madness when you order through the Wendy's app. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's.
For limited time, participating Wendy's via app offer only. Account registration required. No discount applies to taxes or fees. Not valid for any other offer.
Now's a great time to get a Toyota during our Ready, Set, Go sales event. Hi, friends. Bill Dowling here for Dowling Toyota Warren, telling you about some of the great values. For March, well-qualified buyers can lease the all-new 2022 Toyota Tundra SR Crew Max 4x4, sign and drive for just $299 a month. Leases for 36 months, 10,000 miles a year, zero down, just plates and acquisition fee due at signing. We have a limited selection to choose from and are located in the corner of Van Dyke and 696. That's Dowling Toyota Warren. Check us out online at dowlingtoyota.com.
BetMGM welcomes you with a special offer on the NBA. Simply place a $10 moneyline wager on any game. If either team hits a three-pointer, you win $200 in free bets. Just use bonus code STONY200. Plus, you'll earn BetMGM rewards points that can be redeemed for online bonuses or converted to comps to rooms, restaurants, and more at over 20 MGM resorts nationwide. BetMGM is proud to be an authorized gaming partner of the NBA. Download the app or go to BetMGM.com and use the bonus code STONY200 to win $200 in free bets if either team hits a three-pointer. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. 21 years of age or older to wager. Michigan only. New customer offer. All promotions are subject to qualification and eligibility requirements. Rewards issued as non-withdrawable free bets or site credit. Free bets expire 7 days from issuance. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help. Excludes Michigan disassociated persons.
Help Mother Waddles to help those in need by donating your car. Your car donation to Mother Waddles will provide food and shelter to the poorest of the poor. Call Mother Waddles today and change a life. Call 313-WADDLES. Breaking news on 97.1 The Ticket is brought to you by DuckDuckGo. Protect your privacy online for free with DuckDuckGo. DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified. Text the ticket now. Ticket text 248-539-9797. Live from the Jamie Samuelson studio, here's Stoney and Chanson.
97.1 The Ticket, the telephone number 248-539-9797. Heard a little bit from Sheila Fordham. Look, we have patience with the new regime. You have to.
Yep.
I know it's hard, patience, but you have to separate the...
1957.
You have to separate. I mean, I understand you've run out of patience with the family. I get that.
And rightfully so.
Damn right.
Very well justified.
Yes. But Holmes and company, they deserve a little more time.
they're next in line, and they got their shot.
Right.
We'll see what they do.
If they don't pan out, if they pan out like Quintricia, then goodbye in 3 years.
So I know we want to get to a call, but I want to ask you this real quick.
Yeah.
And ask our listeners this as well. For Brad Holmes and for Dan Campbell, what is it that you need to see? And I don't even know that I want to talk about the season coming up because we've got obviously a lot of time to get to that. But what is it that you want to see from them continuing throughout this offseason that makes you believe they are taking the necessary steps to be better in year 2?
Draft wise, I do want him to basically keep with the plan. And even this is somebody who really likes, sizzle a little bit too much.
Yeah.
I like the plan. I like building from the trenches.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the John Jansen influence, but I've always been I like playmakers.
Right.
And especially defensive playmakers, even more than offensive playmakers. I want to see that type of development on this team. If I don't want to see a lot of money being spent on wide receivers and things like. I just, to me, there are 3 things that win you games. Okay, you have to have a good quarterback. You have to be able to protect said quarterback, and you have to be able to get to the other team's quarterback.
Yep.
If you do those 3 things, you're a playoff team easily. And right now, we have one. We can protect the quarterback. The quarterback we have right now is average.
Right. He's a placeholder.
Correct. So eventually, Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell will be, judged on the next quarterback.
Who they put in position behind that offensive line.
Yes. And as far as getting to the quarterback, there were
Last
some
year
signs.
they were bad.
Yeah, they were bad last year. Some guys flashed a little bit, but we'll see.
Yeah. Need more.
Yes. That's why I need to see. All right. 248-539-9797. Let's go to Mike in Oxford here on 97.1.
Hey guys, I don't have any problem with what Sheila Ford said, and I don't have any problem with the owner speaking. I always love hearing what the owner is thinking, But I think they're trying to compensate a little bit too much for Quintricia. They're afraid, of that happening again, so they're trying to change the culture, which I'm fine with. I'm fine with what they're doing too. I don't think there's any need to do what Jacksonville did and go spend a bunch of money. You need to see what you have again. You need to build and good teams. And like you guys were saying, good teams are really built through the draft, like the Bills. So I don't have any problem with this. If they want to get a quarterback this year, I wouldn't be mad. I think one of these quarterbacks are going to head in the draft this year. There's always that one. There's a couple draft classes where maybe it did happen. The only thing that would upset me is if they went safety in the first round. I just am not a big fan of going safety at number 2. That would be the only thing that would upset me. I'm sure Kyle Hamilton, I know he's a good player because I watched him play a lot. Safety to me, I think they need to be in the trenches like you guys said. But I have no problem with this thing. The only thing I worry about is say they go like 3-14 this year again. It's going to be hard to, and coach that started 6-28 to tear and turn it around,
Yeah. Hey, Mike, let me ask you this question. You said Kyle Hamilton at 2.
Yeah.
And you're okay with building inside, like Stoney had mentioned. Would you be okay with Jordan Davis at 2?
Yes, actually, I would be okay with Jordan Davis at 2 because he's what you call an athletic freak. Any big guy that could move that fast is worth looking at. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's just dominant. He's just big. When they played in that the playoff game, you just looked at him compared to the other guys. He was just a man amongst boys.
All right, I want to ask you another question because this question goes out to everybody else too. 248-539-9797. Death not an option. All right, ready for this, Mike? Kyle Hamilton or Malik Willis at number 2?
This one should be easy.
I think you would just take Kyle Hamilton. He would probably be the safer pick, but I wouldn't be mad if they did the other. See, this draft is just such a. Would you guys agree that this draft is one of the most unsure drafts we've had in a while at top? There's no for sure, like there has been a
I think
maybe
in regards to that, for sure, superstar.
Yes.
It's not that.
I think there's going to be a lot of good players coming out of this draft. They may not be
good quality depth
Hall of
draft.
Famers, maybe not.
Kyle Hamilton, though.
You're right. Here's some ticket tips. What is going on in the world today? Lions owners talking? I'm with Sheila. No need to go out and spend big money on players right now. The biggest problem, the biggest fault I think you can give Sheila right now for her short tenure
Yeah.
is when they brought back Patricia.
Right. This were a year delayed
Yes.
in the build.
That was a
rebuild.
mistake.
Build.
What about the thought that the Lions signing all of these short-term contracts makes me question whether or not they're sure of who they're picking, almost like guesswork? No, because I understand what you're saying in the ticket text, but when you get short-term contracts, you're leaving yourself with little risk.
Well, little risk but great upside. So take DJ Shark, for example. The upside of him is that he returns healthy. Now, his first couple of games this year, he was playing well. 2019, he was a Pro Bowl, right? You're banking on, we want that DJ Shark, but if we get the 2021 version and he's dinged up or he just doesn't recover, he can't make the full recovery, we're not committed long term. We can move on.
Correct. Look, they made a mistake. Well, a mistake last year with Perriman and Williams. Now Williams got hurt, and then Perriman just wasn't good enough. Although that's still pass for Tampa, but you know how that goes. 248-539-9797 is the telephone number. Here's the other thing I want to ask you. We're throwing stuff out here for you. Besides the death not an option, okay? Malik Willis or Kyle Hamilton at 2. If you could pick one of our 3 owners to run a team, to own a team, which one are you picking? 97.1.
WXYT FM and WXYT HD1 Detroit. An Odyssey station. Sports headlines. All day, every day. From the Sold by Mike Z Sports Desk. This is 97.1. The Ticket.
Brought to you by Moran Buick GMC. Great early energy at Little Caesars Arena for the Red Wings as they fended off a Philly mid-game rally to eventually win 6-3 in front of the home fans. Lucas Raymond continuing his amazing rookie season with his 20th goal, 4th most in franchise history for a first-year player. A pair of goals for Jacob Verana as well. Alex Nedeljkovic stopping 30 of 33 shots in the win. Major League Baseball and the Union agreeing on a few specific rules for the upcoming season, including the return of the ghost/zombie runner on second base in extra innings, which has drawn split reaction from fans. Pitchers also will be allowed to remain in lineups after being removed from games, which is obviously a Shohei Ohtani rule, and the return of 9-inning doubleheaders. The number 1 women's tennis player in the world retiring, Ash Barty, hanging it up at age 25 after 3 Grand Slam titles. She won the Aussie Open just 2 months ago and will go out on a major victory. And signing new deals, backup Detroit quarterbacks Tim Boyle and David Blau both returning for next season after backing Jared Goff last year. Boyle started 3 games. At the Ticket Update Desk, I'm Chris Villar for more. Stay tuned to 97.1 The Ticket and Odyssey.com.
Live from the Jamie Samuelson Studio, Stoney and Jansen on 97.1 The Ticket.
97.1 The Ticket. The telephone number is 248-539-9797. One more ticket text on Sheila Ford right now. I don't like hearing from Sheila Ford because as we played some cuts, she spoke to DetroitLions.com. And how did they get that in? Just because she was born into the Ford family doesn't mean she's capable of running a business or
Also doesn't mean she's not.
It's true. All right, so there are 2 questions we have on that.
Okay.
Number 1, at number 2, that's not an option. Kyle Hamilton. For me, it's easy.
Yeah, me too.
And I know I had lunch with somebody yesterday who said if they take a safety at number 2, I am done. I tolerated the cornerback at 3, meaning Okuda. I cannot deal with a safety at 2. I can't deal with an unknown quarterback at 2. I'm not saying Malik Willis won't be a really good player. There's just not enough evidence that would allow me to select him with the 2nd pick in the draft.
Well, people are using Josh Allen as the comp.
I understand.
Yeah.
You know, I'm surprised that I almost thought it was laughable still to even consider this, but you know, Doug is into this.
Oh, Doug is way into Malik Willis.
And I think Doug has great credibility in terms of this stuff. I'm curious if he's got some intel on it.
Well, I mean,
But he also picked
Doug,
Purdue to win the Big Ten a few years
well,
ago.
and he was a huge proponent of Hawkinson at 7.
Exactly.
So,
And
I mean,
think the
Doug
argument-
may be able to have talent, but his decision making in a draft might be suspect.
True.
It's just-
And the thing against Hamilton is that that's 3 or 4 drafts where you're going secondary and tight end in the top 8 picks.
Right.
That's just not how you normally build a football team.
No, it's not. But they have secured an offensive line that should be good if they remain healthy for the next 4 to 5 years, and hopefully past that. But you start looking at the defense, and quite honestly, you could go any level of the defense at number 2, and it would be somebody that would be a major upgrade from what you have now.
Correct. At least potentially.
Potentially, yeah.
As we know, everybody does not turn out.
Correct. But as the last caller said, like, you don't want to necessarily hold what Quintricia did against Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell.
Correct.
Because they did take Jeff Okudah number 3 overall. Now, he has been hurt his first 2 years, which I could buy into that a little bit. But even when he was healthy, he wasn't the corner, or he wasn't the playmaker that you would want at a number 3 pick. Correct.
Exactly. I don't remember at Ohio State him being dominant.
No, but
You don't
again,
take a corner unless they're dominant.
right, and again, we can't hold that against Brad Holmes. If Brad Holmes takes Kyle Hamilton, just like a Penei Sewell, and then putting him at right tackle, that is a I don't want to say it's not going to be the defining moment, but it is a defining moment because it's his first pick that he had with the Lions.
And
it worked out well. Now, the next one, if it's Kyle Hamilton, again, it'll be a defining moment. Will it be one that we look back in 3 years and say, you know what, that was a dumbass pick?
I think that Okudah gets just a way too much put on him versus, obviously, it's been an absolutely awful pick. But you know what? Hawkinson was not a very good pick either. Just wasn't. And I don't know why people can't be real about this.
Right.
This guy isn't even Mark Andrews, okay?
Because he's only had one bad year, and that's last year. I think that's the reason.
He wasn't worth the pick.
No, there's no doubt. Nobody.
Right.
I don't think any of us.
That's what he has in common with Okudah. He wasn't worth the pick.
Correct. I think everybody in this city, except for Doug, is lockstep on that.
You were hoping that he was going to be in the same mold as some of the other Iowa tight ends.
Right.
And it just hasn't.
Yeah, but
paid
the
off.
best Iowa tight end was drafted in the 5th or 6th round.
Right. I know.
Okay?
I agree. But that's what you were hoping. It's 7 overall.
Instead of Michael Roberts. All right, here's some ticket texts.
When are you going to bring up Trey Benson? Or you just feed the beast over here?
No, I'm good. We've been through it all before, but I believe in Brad Holmes. Something feels different, and I believe Fords finally care. Jury is still out on Campbell. Holmes right away getting rid of all the dead cat money is a great sign. Trey Flowers won't kill the roster. I'd take Hamilton over Willis at 2. If they take Willis at 2, I'm buying a Bengals jersey. That's from Mike and Williams. We already have a top 10 line and a solid running game. That is a great start to a regime. Quinn had all that wasted money not even playing a game, Flowers and others. Holmes didn't waste a high pick on a corner who blew his Achilles. Well, it's not Quinn. We didn't like the pick. It's not Quinn's fault.
No, that he's been hurt.
Blew out his Achilles. Okay?
Yeah.
If they take Hamilton at 2, I'll never watch a game again. Slow safety, that makes no sense. I really don't care what quarterback we draft if we do this year, but I do know this. We better not trade for Baker or I'm done.
No, I don't think that's happening. No. I mean, especially if you just listen to what we heard from Sheila Ford.
Yes. Right.
That they're not going to divert from the plan.
Yeah, don't need to go out and spend big money on a player, but if you still got to go out and get players, not just a single-year player, and players from your own 3-win team. That's true. That's fair.
Yeah, I think one knock right now is they're, try-hard guys.
Yes.
All these, and that only gets you so far. You have to have talent. I just don't think you can force it, and especially, I agree with that caller we had. This draft it's a head-scratcher for me. there's going to be some good players. I just think identifying them is very difficult. That's why I almost feel like, okay, ever since the combine, Hutchinson going 1 has become a concern for most people, right?
Right.
I think that's the fallback option. I just keep settling into, okay, if Hutch goes 1, just take Walker and that's the day.
Okay, so
I would not be upset with either Walker, Jordan Davis, or even Thibodeau.
Me too.
Depending
I agree with that.
on the interview with Dan Campbell and that stuff. Because if they're taking Thibodeau, he said enough in there that they want him to be involved.
yes. The one thing that I think the wild card that we're starting to see, and we saw it yesterday when we went over the draft from Mel Kiper, the mock draft, is the question may be more Kyle Hamilton at 2, or does Drake London get in the conversation?
What? Well, they had him at 4.
With the Jets, and I'm not saying I would. I'm just, hey, just listen to me, okay? Because he keeps moving up boards. He is a big, tall receiver. Now, I don't think the Lions should take him at number 2. I'm just saying if somebody is trying to say we're going to get the next Jamar Chase or even the next Justin Jefferson, could it be Drake London?
No. I think he's more of a guy right in the end zone, those type of because he's tall and all
6'5".
He's a really good player. I ain't taking him at 2. I ain't taking him at 3. I ain't taking him at 5.
I agree.
See, but that's the thing. What the whole Hutchinson thing has done is opened up this whole can of worms when we thought before the combine Jags would go offensive line and this would be simple. And now I just think outlandish things are being thrown out there that you're not getting the value for the pick.
And Gov, you said something just a few minutes ago that I think is interesting. It is trying to identify the good players. Now, I think there's a number of players that are going to be really good players. And we mentioned Trayvon Walker. You think about Kyle Hamilton, Jordan Davis. I mentioned Drake London, Aiden Hutchinson. I think there's a number of good players. How for Brad Holmes at number 2, if he were to take a Kyle Hamilton and then say, let's just take Mel Kiper's draft. Drake London ends up having a season like Jamar Chase.
That's happened one other time.
Okay,
Randy Moss.
Okay,
I just bet the house that he's not those guys.
Okay, just go with me, Jesus.
But you wait.
Let him finish. Let him answer the question.
All right.
Ask the question.
Ask the question. All right. How much will you? And Kyle Hamilton ends up having a really good rookie season, a great career, but it doesn't live up to a Drake London, or it doesn't live up to a Jordan Davis, who may be taking 5 or 6 picks after, but it's still a great career. How much will you hold that pick against Brad Holmes?
If they get a player who's really, really good, makes a few Pro Bowls, and maybe is not a superstar like they could have had, I don't think I'll hold it that much.
Because that's the draft. That's this draft.
Right. Get yourself a 10-year player. That's what they did last year.
Yeah.
Get yourself a 10-year player. It's his job to identify it. You guys know how I feel about Hamilton. I think he's got a chance to be a generational safety. I would lukewarm endorse it.
Right,
I would give it.
If your standard is, hey, you want a really good player for 10 years,
I would endorse it. But it is taking that position more times than not is not wise.
Okay, so all right, Gov, you're Brad Holmes. Hutchinson goes number 1 right now. Who are you taking it to?
I'm taking Trayvon Walker, and I'm just saying, I'm wiping my hands and saying we got ourselves a good football player. We're going to keep doing what we're doing here, building the trenches.
I take him or Jordan Davis, one of the other.
I can live with Davis.
Yeah.
I can live with Hamilton.
Right.
Willis I can't live with, even though I do see. I just think that would be a hemorrhaging draft pick for what this team's trying to do if it didn't work.
So let's flip the script just a little bit. And I think you guys know where I'm going to go with this, because I think there are a number of good players that you could take at that number 2 spot. And you would be satisfied. Maybe not as happy as the pick that you actually want, but who is it that you don't want at number 2? Is there guys that you would just, hey, On my draft board, I don't want it number 2. Now, some of those players, if you're there at 32, like that would be a pipe dream. That's not going to happen. But you don't want them at number 2.
I don't want any quarterback.
I'm the same with you on that one. And I don't want Kayvon Thibodeau at number 2.
Ooh.
I know that the upside is there. But if I'm Brad Holmes, I don't want to take that risk of drafting a guy and then him being a bust.
Well,
If you
have faith in Brad Holmes, and I know you do,
yeah.
If they would take Kayvon Thibodeau, you know that they think that this kid is the real deal.
Yes, and I would, like Gub said, I would endorse it, but I'd raise an eyebrow, just like I did with Levi Onwuzurike. I didn't think that was going to be a good pick.
I know.
And so far, it's not been great.
248-539-9797. We got lots of texts. We got some phone calls as well. Also, coming up at 7:35, I did something yesterday that was bizarre, incredible, but it really wasn't my fault. 97-1. This business, you think I know after 30-some years. BetMGM welcomes you with a special offer on the NBA. Simply place a $10 moneyline wager on any game. If either team has a three-pointer, you'll win $200 in free bets. Just use the bonus code STONY200. Plus, you'll earn BetMGM reward points that can be redeemed for online bonuses or converted into comps for rooms, restaurants, and more at over 20 MGM resorts nationwide. BetMGM is proud to be an authorized gaming partner of the NBA. Download the app, go to BetMGM.com and use the bonus code STONY200 to win $200 in free bets if either team hits a three-pointer. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. 21 years of age or older to wager. Michigan only. New customer offer. All promotions are subject to qualification and eligibility requirements. Rewards issued as non-withdrawable free bets or site credit. Free bets expire 7 days from issuance. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help. Excludes Michigan disassociated persons.
97.1 The Ticket. Traffic.
From the WWJ AM 950 Traffic Center, this report brought to you by Caesars Sportsbook. Out in Ypsilanti, all lanes are now blocked by a crash on 94 westbound at Michigan Avenue. You can get around it by using Michigan Avenue or Textile Road. Another accident in the left lane, 94 westbound at East Grand Boulevard and M10 southbound exit to Lasser. Presented for the people by Caesars Sportsbook and Casino. Download it today. When you make your first deposit, Caesars will match it 100% up to $2,000. Your app is ready, Emperor. Terms and conditions apply. Must be 21 years or older. I'm Michelle Pena with traffic.
Necessary Roughness with former NFL lineman TJ Lang and John Jensen. Download it today on the Odyssey app.
If you're looking for a certified pre-owned vehicle, look no further. Hi friends, Bill Dowling here for College Buick GMC in Lake Orion. Each C-Fob is given a 172-point inspection. If it doesn't pass muster, we won't sell it. And everyone is also backed by 2 GM limited warranties, one of which covers the powertrain for 6 years, 100,000 miles with zero deductible. Plus, they also come with roadside assistance, alternate transportation, 2 scheduled maintenance, and more. We have a good selection to choose from. That's Golly Buick GMC in Lake Orion. Learn more online at GollyBG.com.
As a small business owner, your bottom line is always top of mind. So start saving by switching to Comcast Business Mobile. It's a mobile service designed for small business that can save you money with unlimited data for just $24 per line per month for 10 lines. Perfect for any small business looking to grow. Or you can pay by the gig. And with access to millions of Wi-Fi hotspots, you pay only for the data you need. No line fees, activation costs, or term contracts. You can save up to $500 a year on your wireless bill, all on the most reliable 5G network. And it's only available to Comcast Business Internet customers. So boost your business's bottom line with more reliable, more affordable mobile service by switching to Comcast Business Mobile today. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Comcast Business Mobile utilizes the network with the most professional 5G data reliability assessment using 2A 2021. Wi-Fi networks not tested. Results can vary. The board is not an endorsement. I love my hardwood floors, but I wasn't sure how to take care of them. Carrying around a bucket is such a hassle. And even worse, my string mop left streaks of haze behind. Then I found Swiffer Wet Jet Clean, the all-in-one tool made specially for wood floors. Its microfiber-like pad is soft, and it sprays a light mist solution that dries fast. With Swiffer Wet
That's
So pick your poison now. Either order your tank T-shirt or your whatever happens.
And the dash tank, and that means the golf era ends.
Right.
So it's just they're in this
Yes,
precarious
of course
situation
they
here
are.
right now. That's why I just keep saying, get yourself a good football player. Figure it out.
Because they're the Lions. Of course they're in this predicament.
So one thing, John, you said, I thought you kind of popped both sides of the fence before you were right on Thibodeau. You first kind of said, no way. He's a guy who won. Okay, but then you said you would.
I have enough faith in Brad Holmes that because I'm not a part of those conversations, I'm not a part of the interview process, I think that's going to be huge. The issue that I have is the same thing that I mentioned with Levi Onwuzurike. There were times when you would turn on the film and he would be beating everybody that lined up across from him. That's the player that I would want to draft. The problem is you also turn the film on and where is he? He's on the field, but he just disappears. He melds into the field, into the competition, and there's just nothing that happens. There's too many times where I look and I say, for a guy that's going to be taken number 2 overall, it came up to I need to see a guy that is showing up on the film every single time. Whether he's making the play or not, he needs to be in the picture.
Right.
And he wasn't in the picture.
Go to Paul on us from Grand Blanc. Good morning, Paul.
Good morning, guys. My question is mainly is this, what do you guys think about if they drafted Hamilton at 2, and maybe Lugalo at 32 and let him redshirt this year, or maybe even trade the 2 picks for 2 second rounders, and that way get more second rounder picks?
I would not object to you.
I wouldn't object either. Now, here's my question, Paul. Do you think if instead of taking him at 32, now you probably would want to do this so you get the extra year if he's going to redshirt this year. But do you think he'd be available at 34?
I think he may be, but it's that extra year. Basically redshirting him. I mean, before his injury, there were top drafts where he was top 10.
Right. I think there are teams out there who are really, they're going to be in the playoffs and pick him really low. But we're real late in the draft. We would take him in the high in the 20s.
Well, right. I think there's a lot of value in that 32 pick in terms of the trade.
Yes.
Because if the Lions, if there's a QB
up and against the number. Meanwhile, Wake was just 4-3 against the number in their previous 7 before their early loss in the ACC tournament. With the title so close, I don't foresee motivation being an issue for either team in this one.
Master Chief and the other Spartans are only
Cover two.
Hello, Master Chief. I'm Cortana.
Comes the way. Bring the weapon. Strap in. I need to take the fight to them. March 24th. Over on Paramount Plus.
The Motor City Hot Tub and Swim Spa show is going on right now. Come in and check out the region's largest inventory with multiple brands to choose from. Factory reps and meals hand to guarantee the lowest prices and 0% finance options. 7575 Highland Road, that's the MJR Theater in Waterford. Well, Detroit baseball is back. And spring break is just around the corner. There's never been a better time to head down to Lakeland, Florida, where it's warm and sunny year-round. And there's plenty of outdoor activities, fun for the whole family, and best of all, catch spring training of your Detroit Tigers. That's right, you can kick back and relax in the warm sun and watch the Tigers get ready for the season. Doesn't sound too bad, does it? It's all happening down in Lakeland, Florida's sweetest spot. Go to visitcentralflorida.com to plan your trip.
Start your racket with a bang. Right now, FanDuel Sportsbook is giving new customers a $150 instant bonus. Guaranteed. That's right. You get $150 in bonus site credit. All you have to do is place your first bet of $5 or more. How you bet on the brackets? Up to you. You can choose from the money line, totals, prop bets, and so much more. Plus, with cash out, the ball's in your court. You can close out your bet whenever you want before a game is over. Join FanDuel today. Promo code Doug. Then you can place your $5 bet to score $150 in bonus site credit. Guaranteed. That's promo code Doug for the FanDuel Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older and have present condition. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable site credit that expires in 14 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problems call 1-800-277-7117 for confidential help. FanDuel Sportsbook. Official partner of 97
You're always up for some fun with the family. So you go to the essentials, a outdoor game, some baking supplies, and even a weekly check-in for outdoor movie night. And with the Bank of America customized cash rewards credit card, you can choose to earn 3% cash back on online shopping, which could increase up to 5.25% as a preferred rewards card. Rewards which you can put toward an extra treat that everyone will enjoy, like an old-fashioned popcorn machine. Visit bankofamerica.com/more-rewarding and apply now. Copyright 2021 Bank of America Corporation.
Wait, aren't these all charitable donations?
At Magda's Tax Prep, every person counts.
I'm applying for an extension.
She needs new auditors to maximize returns on her family time.
Help with these 1099.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our hiring platform instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards the first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
This hour is to feed brought to you by Michael Barrow, National Benefit Claims. Call 877-734-2200.
The Detroit Pistons host the Atlanta Hawks. Pregame tonight at 6:35 on 97.1. The Ticket.
Here's Martin Johnson on those skills up over the Philadelphia line. Has an opening. Sends it across the run to scores. What a feat by Larkin to Verona in the right circle. And he banks it by Hart to make it 4-2 Detroit. That's Verona's second goal of the game.
Red Wings win it 6-4. Philly is a lot worse than them. Philly has not won a road game this calendar year.
Ouch.
God, remember when the Wings and Flyers used to play meaningful games?
Oh, that's wild.
Yes, it has. All right. Our telephone number 248-539-9797. As you know, if you listen to this program or listen to me babble or mumble or whatever through the last few decades on the radio, you know, sometimes things happen to me, usually self-inflicted, that are just mind-boggling. This one might have been, I don't know where to describe this.
Yeah.
I will just preface by saying I don't think this is my fault.
Okay.
Okay? So yesterday, I was talking to a friend of mine who had just gotten an epidural shot on his back. And actually, the nurse who gave him the epidural is a big fan of our show. Her name, I believe, I should remember, I think her name was Stephanie. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry, but she listens all the time. She has her mock drafts and things like that. She's a big fan. Anyway, so I'm talking to my friend, and he goes, "Did you hear about? I just heard that so-and-so's mom passed away." And I knew this person's mother had been sick for a long time and going through some bad times. I said, "Oh, that sucks," and all that. I said, "You know anything about the funeral arrangements?" He said, "No, not yet." I said, I said, "You know what? I'll call him." And went right to voicemail. So I figured, so I texted him. Here's what I did. Just heard about your mom. So sorry. You were a great son. Let me know about a funeral and where contributions can be made. Hang in there. Thinking about you and the family. Here's the response. Where did you hear that? She's still kicking. Just got a new cancer diagnosis in the esophagus, and we're waiting as I type to see the surgeon. I told him where I found out, or I heard. I said, I'm going to call him and find out. Bad info. Though she told me this morning I'm dead. She was having a pity party. I said, never happier to get fake news. So I basically did a condolence call to my friend about his mom, and his mom still alive. Yes. Okay. Now, the reason this happened is my friend who gave me the information got a text from somebody saying that his mom died, and his first name was the same as this other guy, and their last initial is the same, so it comes up on the text, the same initials and the same first name.
So you just text the wrong guy?
No, I didn't text the wrong guy. I mean, he assumed, because he didn't look carefully enough, that the person who told him that his own mother died was the other person who had the same first name and the same initial on the beginner's last name.
I'm so lost.
Okay, well, basically, I was given bad information.
Yes.
So I understand why my friend who gave me the information got it screwed up.
Right.
Because he thought it was a different, it's like, let's say...
John P.
Right.
It was a different John P.
Exactly, that's it. So, I felt so horrible. But it wasn't my fault.
No.
I did the right thing.
You did. You instantly, came to console a friend.
Yeah.
Because you thought that his mother had passed.
Yeah.
Just wrong one. Did you were you friends with the other?
I kind of know the other, but I wouldn't call him.
So you didn't bother?
No. I didn't have his number. I could find out, but no. So, there's
lots of birds.
Well, there's two things here. Have you ever, for lack of a better term, given somebody you thought was real fake news? Or what's the worst thing you had to tell someone? It's maybe a little too deep for the morning.
Or just something you don't want to share. I'm bad to have some of those conversations, but I'm not going to share them now.
Okay. Well, for instance, when I was dating Cindy, we had a party. My friends, my roommates, yes, Mitch was one of them. We rented out the Royal Oak Music Theater to have a party. Even a few years before that, we used to have these great house parties. Moved to a nicer house. We didn't want to get it screwed up, so we rented out, and it was like middle of the week. And somebody came up to me and told me that you got to get Cindy out of here. Her mom just died. So I had to tell. We were just like dating a few months.
Oh my!
I had to tell her that her mom died, and that wasn't fake news.
Yeah.
That was the worst thing I ever did.
Oh.
Yeah, that's kind of sad.
Yeah. Heather, next?
No, I'm silent because I have nothing. I don't think I've ever had to deliver really bad news, or no, I can't think of anything startling like that. That's awful.
Well, I did tell some people, I believe, I don't know if it was text, right? When Jamie passed, I did that.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm the bearer of bad news.
Yeah.
Well, next time I've got to share some bad news, you're my first call. You've got the
I think
practice.
that maybe the question, when were you told something that just wasn't true?
Yeah.
You kind of got duped by it. How long did you get duped?
Well, that's a good question.
I mean, I can't think of anything like big. I've had a few things, just news-wise in this business working in it, where I,
fake
we
Twitter
almost,
accounts.
almost took it to
Right,
news,
but
but
you
you checked and balanced it, and you held it back. I mean, the big one was there was a premature report back when Walter Payton that he had died. Well, we hadn't yet, and
yeah, that's why you verified the news.
Yeah, that one got very close to making it to the air, but it didn't.
Yeah. Gosh, I'm trying to think when I was given some bad news and I rolled with it. I don't know that I've done that.
Or it doesn't have to be
I
bad.
haven't been in that. Yeah, but I haven't been in that position.
Right.
Yeah, or just any news, big
Right,
news.
exactly.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever been in that position.
You ever been duped by social media? Like you legitimately bought into it? I mean, we've had some very credible writers get duped.
Yeah, they have fake accounts too. I mean, there's wasn't there Ken Rosenthal had a fake account that somebody on our station thought was real?
Yeah.
Remember
The
that?
Tiger signed somebody.
Yeah, there's that.
That made it to the air and it should.
Right, there's a fake Adam Schefter account out there somewhere.
Every once in a while I will see some of that. And you know what? There was one that happened not too long ago, and I'm going through my text messages because before I had typed out a message and I was actually going to send it to someone. And then I looked and I said, you know what? It was a fake Pete Thamel account.
College football writers now for ESPN.
Right. And the reason I had sent it to someone, and I said, it almost got me because it didn't have the little blue check mark. And I just noticed it before I said it, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to check this out. And it comes back that it was actually not factual.
So I remember what the story was.
It was something about. It was something about, it had to do with Michigan, and maybe it was one of the coaches that was leaving a year or two ago or something like that. And it was, because if you're going to pick someone to make a fake account, right, you want to pick somebody that, like Paul Feinbaum, right?
Yeah.
If there's news on Jim Harbaugh, that you would send it out from a fake Paul Feinbaum account because people would instantly think that this is legit.
Yeah. All right, 248-539-9797. Have you ever been fooled by, fake news or anything?